Hi, my name is Gavin and I work for Atkins as an assistant civil engineer within the drainage infrastructure industry.
Hello, my name is Julie O'Brien and I currently work as Technology Manager for SSE Renewables.
Hi, my name is Mario. I work for Sweco as an engineer technician.
Hi, I'm Erin. I'm a student member of the ICE and I'm about to enter into my third year of university studying structural engineering with architecture.
So, what is civil engineering? Civil engineering is everything that you see that has been built around us. It's about the roads and the railways, the schools, offices, hospitals, homes, even water supply and power supply. There's so much that civil engineering gives to us and the world around us. The kind of things that we take for granted, but we would find life very hard to live without. Civil engineers design, create and connect up the world around us. Civil engineering projects make our villages, towns and cities work for the people who live there.
Civil engineering is a broad umbrella that includes a wide range of sub-disciplines. That's what I particularly like about civil engineering. It really has something for everyone and no 2 days are the same. One of those sub-disciplines is structural engineering, which focuses on the structural design and analysis of all types of construction projects. From flatted developments to iconic stadiums, I think we can all name a list of pretty impressive buildings that we've either been in or walked past. They're everywhere, they're all around us. And I'm sure you've also visited iconic heritage buildings also. We have a rich civil engineering heritage here. I live in Scotland and there are many amazing buildings. Bridges are also structural marvels. They can be carrying rail, vehicles, people, depending on requirements of the area. They can significantly cut travel times or they can connect communities. Tunnels also obviously create an underpassage that pass through a hill, under a building or a road, underwater or even under entire cities. Highway engineering involves the planning, design, construction, operation and maintenance of roads, bridges, tunnels. Rail is another one. We have a massive network of rail across the UK and that really significant civil engineering work has gone into that. Air travel is also another one. Massive investment goes into airports. So for water, hydrology engineering focuses on water usage for irrigation, human consumption and sanitation. It focuses on collecting water from the earth and getting it where it needs to go in ways that are safe and sustainable. So the clean water you use when you turn on your tap in the morning to brush your teeth or go for a shower, that has been brought to you by civil engineers. And equally wastewater, so when that water goes down the plug hole or when you flush the toilet, it's civil engineering infrastructure that's transported the wastewater to a waste treatment site and then back into the overall system. Drainage is also another area for our civil engineers. Drainage systems are a key part of any development. Maritime is also an area for civil engineering. Sustainable development and use of the coastal zone depends heavily on available infrastructure. We need to ensure that we are designing for the rising sea levels that we're seeing through climate change. And also ports and harbours, which for me, working within the renewables business is a key piece of infrastructure, particularly for our offshore wind farms and our onshore wind farms. Geotechnical engineering would be my specialty. It's concerned with building on, in or with soil and rock. It deals with earth materials and how they behave. Geotechnical engineering design dams, embankments, cuts, foundations, retaining walls, anchors, tunnels and all other structures directly interacting with the subsoil, both onshore and offshore. And for me, I think they all feed into the energy industry. Offshore wind is a massive growth area at the moment. Renewable engineering is getting significant focus across the world, and it's our civil engineers are adapting their skills to this growth industry. There is also hydro stored energy, so looking at dams and creating energy from that stored water. Each of all the sub-disciplines link to climate change, and civil engineers are working to make sure that These are solutions and not causes. Always look and driving for the most sustainable, most efficient options, the things that have the least amount of impact to the environment. We need to protect our existing infrastructure from the effects of climate change that we're already experiencing. We need to be designing ahead for what we think we might be going to experience. But also we want to look after that existing infrastructure to ensure we get as long a life out of that as possible. We really need to look at tackling local consequences, so looking at tackling severe weather events which will result in flooding or could result in landslide.
Now you might be wondering, how can you get into the profession? Fortunately, there are many available routes, one which might be suitable for you. Routes such as an apprenticeship, which combines work experience with school, college, or university programs. There are also practical-based academic qualifications that can be achieved through further education college or university. The Institute of Civil Engineers also offers every year Quest scholarships to help students with funding and encourage new talent into the profession. Now, I would like to talk to you a bit about the different routes leading into the profession. A foundation apprenticeship is a qualification done at school through S5, S6 level, and as part of your senior-based subject choices, spending time with learning providers such as a college, and working on projects which are supported by employers. The completion of a foundation apprenticeship will allow you to obtain an NC certificate or an SBQ unit. Now, you may have heard of modern apprenticeships for joiner or bricklayer, but they're also available in civil engineering. And they are a 2-year part-time coursework, providing an excellent way to get work experience while you work towards a qualification with a college or a learner provider. Completion of this program will allow you to obtain an NC or HNC in civil engineering. The third option is a graduate apprenticeship. This is an alternative route to full-time university study, with the exception that as a graduate apprentice, your studies will be completed 80% at work and 20% at university. This means that you will work, get paid, and achieve your degree. While graduate apprenticeships are not necessarily the easy option, it could be suitable for you, especially if full-time university is not an option for you. As I mentioned earlier, I am also a graduate apprentice, and personally, even though I would have seen myself completing the degree as a full-time student at university, I most certainly prefer the apprenticeship route, not only because I prefer the challenge, but also because I am already surrounding myself with professionals who have first-hand experience into the industry and that are able to guide me through my learning experience. This way, I can already start seeing the impact that my work can bring into the profession through real-life projects. And while I am still building myself up and my skill set, this can be very rewarding and quite motivational to continue and keep working hard towards my degree.
And then the final sort of most common way of becoming an engineer is the route that I'm going down, which involves attending university to complete a degree. If you go to Scotland, a Scotland university, you can do a BEng, which is a Bachelor of Engineering, and that lasts for 4 years. Or you can complete a Masters of Engineering, known as an MEng, and this will be a 5-year course. If you go to a university in England or elsewhere, the degrees tend to be 1 year less than they are here in Scotland. But obviously, if you want to go to Scotland, then you just have to do the extra year, really. The main difference between the degrees really comes down to if you want to be chartered in the future. Generally, they say that completing a master's degree makes it a little bit easier to get chartered further down the line, as you have completed all of the educational aspects required to become such. But again, it's really personal choice. Decide, look into it, decide what works best for you. I'm just finally going to touch a little bit on Quest scholarships. I am myself an undergraduate Quest scholar. There is also the option to be a Quest scholar for a technician. As a Quest scholar, essentially what that means for me is I am sponsored in a way through my time at university by a company, and they help provide funding for me, as do the ICE, towards my sort of textbooks, university supplies, accommodation, really whatever you want to spend the money on. There's no set guidelines. It's just a little bit to help you out. As well as that, they support me with my studies. I can go to them if I ever sort of need help with anything. And I complete an 8-week work placement every summer. It's fully paid and very, very, very beneficial when it then comes to my studies sort of the following year at university, as I've had a bit of experience kind of in the field and sort of know a bit more what's coming a little bit. You do have to do a sort of interview process. It's a long application process and it is quite a competitive thing. But it's really, really beneficial, and I am hoping that I'll work for that company when I then eventually graduate a few years down the line. If you want any more information on anything that I've touched on, again, the first port of call that I would recommend is the ICE website. There's tons of information on there, lots of helpful documents. You can also have a look at the UCAS website and plenty of other sources, and if you really can't find something, just ask, find an email, ask at your school, and people will be more than happy to help you.
So whether you choose work-based or full academic learning, they can all lead you into the profession and to become a civil engineer.
I hope I've gave you a little bit more information, and I hope that some of you want to go into civil engineering. So thanks for listening. Bye bye.